The Canik TP9 Elite SE, let's check it out. Guys, Canik produces really high quality striker fire pistols for a reasonable price. When I first reviewed the TP9 55 back in 2014, I really liked that design, and it was based very heavily on the Walther P99. From that time, Canik has taken it to a whole nother level. They have changed so many different features and designs, and they have so many different models of this pistol, more than probably any other company out there. And I've long awaited, though, a subcompact model. And so they've just released their Canik TP9 Elite SC for subcompact. And guys, with all the quality that has gone into the other Caniks and the experience I've had, this is going to be a real winner for concealed carry. And I want to thank Canik USA for sending the TP9 Elite SC for this test and review. In Turkey, Canik is actually pronounced Janik. The Turks also pronounce their country Turkey. So we're going to go with Canik because that's the US version. Guys, like I've said, I have really been anticipating this firearm. Canik just makes some really excellent guns, but nothing really that was suitable for concealed carry, you know, in a small package. I mean, the Elite was doable, but this really brings it down. One of the cool things about this is, though, is it does have 12 in the magazine, which that is standard, which there are some now that are coming out with that. And then you get a 15-round magazine extension. Cool thing about this is it's not just a sleeve that fits over, it's actually the base plate. And they also offer just a flat base plate as well that comes with this handgun. And let's check to make sure the gun is unloaded, and it is. Now this handgun follows the lines of the Canik TP9 SF Elite. Of course, even with down to the tungsten gray finish on the slide. And here we have the Elite. This is an excellent handgun, one of my favorites from Canik, mainly because it gets it down to the size of about a Glock 19. So it is concealable, but yet I really like the SC that gets it more concealable, and you know, something to easily carried every day, at least for me. Here you can see the grip size, definitely 15 rounds here and then 12 here. And here on the slide we're getting about an inch difference. The barrel on the SC is 3.5 inches. They are cold hammer forged, they're black nitrided. In fact, a lot of the parts internally are black nitrided, or they're nickel plated, which with a high polished nickel, which makes it really smooth. But really overall, these guns are pretty much identical in every other way. Except this does have an optics ready plate that you can remove. It does have an adapter, and we'll look at that in a minute. And you can fit the Shield RMS or some of those micro red dots. The sights are just blacked out in the rear with a cocking shelf, and then a white dot at the front. Here with the TP9 Elite, you can see you have a totally different setup with a little bit of a post, and then you actually have a tritium bead with a white outline around it. So these are really easy to see. But as far as texture, as far as grip, you know, anything else, these are identical. Has front and rear cocking serrations. We have ambidextrous slide release or slide stop on either side. You have your takedown lever here, and then we have our mag release right here, which really ejects those magazines out. And the magazines are really high quality. Of course, here you have your witness holes, and then they do have the base plates. These are very easy to switch out. And it does give you a really solid grip with this extension, but again, you can get the flat base plates. With the 15 rounder, it definitely gives you a solid full grip. Now, some people have already complained that this is just kind of hanging out there, but that is not a place that you're going to get any traction with your grip. And so, you know, it is what it is, but I'm sure there'll be base plates that come out that'll fill that. But just a really solid feeling handgun. Now, there are two 1913 Picatinny rail sections on the front, but that's really short, so a lot of times you can't fit lights or lasers. But here, the Olight PL Mini 2, fully adjustable mount. This will fit about any of these small little subcompacts. And also the Enforce APLC, it also works. Texturing here, and then of course with these back pyramids along the back and the front strap, and of course even on the magazine, which I thought was a nice touch. Good solid feel to it. There is a separate smaller back strap that you can replace this one with, of course, just by driving out this pin, and it is included. Here you can see the RMR plate, and of course you still retain your rear sight, which I really like. And then we have a loaded chamber indicator. And so we're going to throw in a dummy round, and it just raises up just a touch. No big red flag, no warning or anything else. You just know when it's loaded. And there's a cock striker indicator here at the back. When you pull the trigger, it just disappears. That does not mean the gun is loaded. This means the gun is loaded. While the magazine release is not ambidextrous, it is reversible to the other side. And as far as the trigger goes, we do have a trigger safety here, no frame safety. And this trigger is really excellent. Have some free play right here, a little resistance, very clean break. But the favorite part is this reset right there. I mean, it is super fast. And as always, using our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells, 3 pounds, 7.8 ounces. 3 pounds, 12.8 ounces. So around the 3.5, 3 3/4. Now there's a lot of different subcompact pistols out on the market, but I wanted to bring the CZ P10 SC to kind of do more of the comparison, mainly because this is a 12-round magazine instead of most of your 10-round magazines and a lot of your other subcompacts. And there's some other things about it that are just kind of close. And I've also had a lot of requests to do a comparison between these two. Slides are pretty much the same. They both have optics ready plates. And as far as the grip, with this base plate, even though the frame comes down a little bit, it covers the base plate. So these are actually identical in this direction as well. I would say that the Canik probably is a little wider because it has the ambidextrous slide stops. But otherwise, they're very close. And we're going to be showing some comparison between these two at the range. Weight on the TP9 Elite SC. 1 pound, 9 ounces. All right, guys, I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo. We're using some 115 grain full metal jacket, but we're also using some different jacketed hollow points, and we'll be bringing those in later. Also, Lula loaders, just excellent. Great when you're loading a lot of magazines. So we took the Canik TP9 SC down to the range, and I was expecting good reliability because we have had it throughout all of the Canik pistols. And I was not disappointed. I mean, it just shoots well. I was very curious about how it would shoot though with the shorter slide and the shorter grip. Guys, it's just fine-tuned. I mean, it just works. I like the little pinky extension on there because it does give you just a little bit, but yet where you carry, it doesn't print off the back. And I think that's one of the reasons why they have this shorter base plate. It doesn't really add to it. The grip, good solid texturing. Of course, all the controls are fine. One thing that a lot of people do is if they have a high grip, sometimes they'll inadvertently hit the slide release or slide stop, and so it won't hold open on the last round. Both myself, Robbie, Seth, Sarah Mac, we didn't have any problems with that at all. And I have had problems in the past with other designs with that long slide stop. Real easy. I mean, I don't even have to change my grip, and I have fairly medium hands to release that magazine, and it does fly out. But overall, it's just a great gun to shoot. It really feels a lot, because of this little pinky extension, like you're shooting a full-size handgun. And yet, it's going to be excellent for concealed carry. And when it came to accuracy, again, it just didn't disappoint. Now we did want to do a little bit of a comparison. I brought out my CZ P10 SC. This is a 12 round, so I figured based on the Canik with the 12 rounds, it's probably the closest, more than some of the other subcompacts, which are typically 10 round. What do you think about, what are you thinking?
I think the CZ's got a little softer recoil impulse. The trigger is a little heavier on the CZ. I had like a little stutter with the trigger a couple of times with the CZ, but the trigger is a lot better on the Canik than the CZ.
Wow, that says a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the CZ it's a little flatter shooting, it's a little softer shooting, and for me the grip feels a little shorter on the CZ.
Well, you got that lip.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the grip's thinner on the CZ. It's a little thicker, just a little bit more ergonomic, but yet this gives you a little more grip. The aggressive grip, it wears on my hand a little bit more. This one, that one shoots flatter, but this one actually
Track a little better for you.
It's not as much recoil back.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. I like the way that one shoots, and I like that dot. And the grip is narrow, but this will give you a full grip. And guys, the takeaway from both of these was that there were some advantages with the Canik. There were some advantages with the CZ. And again, we live in the golden age of firearms, guys. If you can't find a gun that suits you just right, you're just not looking. Right, let's disassemble the firearm. We're going to drop our magazine, check to make sure it's unloaded. Bring back about 1/8 of an inch, pull down on your tabs, and then pull the trigger. Move it forward just a little bit, and then we pull the slide right off, which is a little different than a lot of striker fire pistols. Remove our recoil spring and guide rod. It is dual captive, it is all metal. And we have our barrel, which is Browning linkless design. You can see some relief cuts in here to make the slide a little lighter. But as far as the finish and the quality, it is excellent. It is black nitride. And here we have the frame. One of the things I want you to notice is this nickel polished. These are high polished. It's going to help with the smoothness of the trigger. But these are just very well made. And guys, that's all you need to do to field strip. And of course, just in reverse order, we will reassemble. Remember, we don't go all the way over the slide, just right here. And we are good to go. All right, get a good high quality box. Of course, you get your pistol and also a really nice holster. This is a departure from some of the Serpa type holsters they've had before. And it's kind of an injected molded polymer. And then you have your belt clips. Now this is set up for outside the waistband, but these can be moved to the other side for an inside the waistband. So I really like this holster. I think it's got good retention to it, and even has a screw here to tighten up the tension. And what's really funny is I tried a number of different other type pistols and they fit. Whether it was the Walther PPQ SC and also the CZ, they actually fit in here. But any of your Canik TP9 pistols will also fit. So I think this is very useful. Of course, you get your 15 round magazine, lock, your chamber flag, you get your extra back strap, and this is of course a little bit smaller than the one installed, and you get a flat base plate, and it's pretty easy to pop these out. Now they do offer these little toolboxes, which I think is a great addition. Has some small little hex keys and T-wrenches, and then we have just some extra screws. This goes with, of course, putting in your base plate, which you also have a base plate here, and this is for your Shield RMS, and it is polymer. And you get a really nice owner's manual, which actually is specific to the SC, which I thought was also pretty cool, instead of just doing a generic one. Then there's a cleaning brush and cleaning rod also in here. Guys, as far as the price goes, these are running around the upper 300s. So, they're very reasonable. Now, this one just coming out, it may be a little difficult to find at first. But you know, the Canik prices seem to be in that around the $300 range, unless you get some of the advanced features, you know, with some of the Salient Arms collaborations and some of those, the Elite series, the Threaded Barrel series, and some of the ones that they do that have a lot of advanced features. But a very reasonable cost for what you're getting, including the optics plate, which to me, you know, if you go and have that done, it really costs quite a bit. And that seems to be where the market is going with a lot of people. That's becoming more and more popular. But if you don't like it, you don't have to have it. And that's what I like also. So overall, the finish on here is just excellent. The quality, going through 60,000 plus rounds of testing without any malfunctions at the Canik factory. I mean, it's just a win-win if you're looking for a good quality pistol for a budget price. But actually, for any price, this is an excellent handgun. And again, I want to thank Canik USA for sending the TP9 Elite SC. What a long name for a little pistol. But guys, if you're looking for something for concealed carry, this is a great choice. Guys, if you depend on a firearm for self-defense, whether concealed carry or even home defense, having some kind of legal protection is vital. I'm a member of the USCCA. I've been a member for the past 3 years, and it is just peace of mind. You know that someone has your back if you ever get yourself in a tough situation where you have to draw your firearm. Now, I have a link down below in the description to the USCCA membership page. It is an affiliate link, and I know that if anything ever goes down, I have a friend with USCCA. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Canik TP9 Elite SC. Let's check it out. Pretty much are. Okay, that's not equal. And the reason I say typically, guys, in 1914, I did my first Canik review.
It's okay.
Okay. It's okay.
Seth, give me my little can. My Zen. I'm at my Zen, man. It's my place of Zen.